What's going on, Guardians? It's Tizzle here, and I am back with a solo GM commentary run. So, couple things. This is my second time recording this. The first time I recorded the entire thing and the file corrupted somehow. So that's really annoying. And then on the run before this of my clear, I was having a super smooth run, showing off really good gameplay of the build. And then I died to some bullshit on like the very end of the boss because I wasn't trying to cheese it. And so I ran it back, and let's just say the gameplay on this run isn't nearly as good, unfortunately. But if you're a fan of the channel, you'll know I'm moving. And I've barely played the game in the last couple weeks. I just get on like once a week for Pantheon, and that's about it. So it was really fun to solo a GM again. But yeah, go easy on me because I'm clearly rusty, and yeah, that's just the way things go. And like I said, I recorded this entire thing right before this, and the file corrupted. So this was just a cursed run in general. But I really wanted to show off contraverse hold. Hold on. So here you can see I proc Radiant in one shot with Whisper of the Worm because it only holds 3 in the mag. So that's the first thing I want to talk about with the build is you need Flint Striker, and then we also have Kindling Trigger, so I was able to proc and Ignition with that crit kill. So yeah, that's one reason I really wanted to run this build, was because I wanted to show Whisper off in a GM scenario. I know some other creators that have way better gameplay than me. Like I said, you'll see on this run, I miss a lot of shots. It's frankly embarrassing, but I did just really want to get a run out using Whisper, and I wanted to use the Midnight Coup with Shoot to Loot Kinetic Tremors to show how good that roll can be. I know I talked about how my god roll is Firefly 1 for all or Explosive Payload 1 for all, but Shoot to Loot Kinetic Tremors has huge utility in GM scenarios, especially solo GMs. So there, like, I can't shoot that orb whatsoever. I have 2 Solar Surges on my boots to make my Whisper hit even harder. And there, I pre-threw that nade because I know as soon as the wizard dies, it spawns in that Death Tongue Chorister. But then he was moving kind of weird, so I was a little afraid to shoot. So he kind of gets to the thing. But yeah, that's what you want to do, is you want to kill that wizard when you have your Nova Bomb up and ready. That way, when the Death Tongue spawns, you can do a whole bunch of burst damage with your Nova Bomb. So here, I couldn't hit the first crit because he wasn't looking at me, and then he just moves in like the most subtle ways. It's really annoying. So then I'm like, fuck it. I'm not going to keep wasting Whisper ammo. But yeah, I wanted to just showcase a run with Whisper really bad, and I also wanted to use contraverse hold because look at my grenade recharge here. I almost have it, and I have it back. So people have been saying it was nerfed, and like way back in the day, yes, it did get nerfed. It kind of used to give like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like constant grenade regeneration, where now it gives like a chunk of grenade regeneration, but then there's a 4.5 second cooldown, I believe it is. But if you run Echo of Persistence, the ones, I think it's Persistence, the one that makes your grenades last longer, real quick, Bungie needs to fucking fix that Barrier Knights can't have their crit hit through their shield. It's really annoying, and it's especially annoying if you're running Whisper or Polaris Lance, because both those weapons kind of thrive on crit kills. So I just wanted to point that out. But anyways, so how contraverse hold works. So if those enemies out there are strong enough to survive the entire duration of the grenade, you're going to get 2 procs on contraverse hold if you're running the longer duration grenade. Unfortunately, my Nova Bomb hit that catwalk. Like I said, the gameplay, the run before this was so nice. I was through this part in like less than 5 minutes, which is really good for me. And yeah, this run was way more messy, like from start to finish. You'll see. But anyways, like I said, I really wanted to just showcase how good Whisper is. So there, I wanted to showcase getting an Ignition kill on a crit, and it took out 3 other adds. So you can also use Whisper for ad clear. Again, on the better run before this, I was able to showcase it in the boss room really nicely, but I don't really showcase it on this run. But I did kind of showcase it there, just just so you know, I'm just trying to show like all the utility of this build. And then I had went to stun that unstop, but the knight had put his shield up, so that was unfortunate. And then, yeah, you can just see the grenades like doing work. I already have a grenade back. We've got Devour. Because, yeah, you're proccing Contraverse Hold, but then you also get Devour. So as it gets kills, it's just feeding you grenade energy. It's just awesome. And there you can just see how good Whisper is for taking those things out. I've never really played in that little area I was just in, but I was just kind of trying some new stuff. Like I said, I'm also just rusty. I haven't played much and haven't done this GM in like a long time. As you'll see in the boss room, I make some stupid mistakes. But yeah, Indebted Kindness, excellent. Mine has lead from gold volt shot, so it's really good for ammo economy, as is Whisper. And again, it's just another reason I really wanted to run this build. There's players out there that are way better than me, that if they ran this build, like they could really show off how strong it is. But I think this run does like a good enough job. Like I said, I just wanted to get it out there just because I'm really sick of running solar. This season, I'm starting to get fatigued of it now. Like, it's just been too long with the same artifact. I love artifact mods and I'm just ready for something new. That's why Onslaught was such a breath of fresh air, because there was no surges. So that's another thing. And Don't Stand Here is another thing. You can see I pretty much should have died. I have concussive dampener on, so that's probably what kept me alive there. But then I also have 2 void surges, which is what I would recommend. I'll show another couple times in this run where the double void surge, or double void resist I should say, is probably what kept me alive. So there you can just see how awesome Whisper is. And if you could hit crits on knights, I wouldn't have had to reload there and that knight would already be dead. So yeah, Bungie, please fix that shit. And then he's one shot and we're just going to get a crit kill so that we can get the ignition, but unfortunately it doesn't kill the wizards. And then I'm just wasting ammo at this point because I'm getting flinched by that stupid boss. He does have an angle where you can hit him where he can't hit you. I think it's like right here. And then I just kind of airmail my grenade, which was dumb. But ideally, I have Echo of Undermining on. And here you can just see, I don't know if it hit him there, but I did have Radiant going, and you could just see how hard Whisper chunks. So it's actually very good in GMs, especially solo GMs, because like I said, the ammo economy is amazing. And then it's only going to be good on certain GMs. Like if enemies are right in your face, like Lake of Shadows, it's doable, I guess, but I'd prefer a machine gun. But for one like this, where you can use cheese spots and you can sit at the back of the map, it's absolutely perfect. The probably most battlegrounds it'd be good for. I know the other battleground this season, the Psyops one, it would definitely be good for that. But yeah, so like I was saying, Onslaught has been so nice because there's no surges. And then, yeah, I've just been loving running different builds. And you can see how good the Contraverse Hold grenades are doing. And that's without Void Surge. So I'm guessing with Prismatic coming, they're kind of going to give us an artifact that makes all the subclasses shine, and I'm really excited about that because I have the most fun in Destiny when I'm not pigeonholed into what I can run. There you can see the Screeb was being really weird, and the boss is super weird in the boss room as well, as you'll notice at one point. But anyways, we used the grenade, took out pretty much all those ads, and then we have our grenade back already. We throw it here, sucks them in, and it's going to kill all those guys. So yeah, I just love Contraverse Hold. I've loved it from the day I got them in Forsaken. It's another thing that inspired me to want to run this build this week, is because... And I know I didn't get to it till the end of the week. It's because I've been working on so much content and trying to move houses and stuff. And here you can just see how good Indebted Kindness is. But yeah, I talk about Contraverse Hold in a couple of the videos. And I just haven't ran it in so long. And I was like, I wonder how it's holding up these days. Because like I said, I had heard people talk about like, oh, it's not as good anymore. It doesn't give the crazy grenade regen. It still does, and when I get in this cheese spot, you'll see a couple instances where I pretty much get my full grenade back in like 5 seconds. So yes, maybe it was nerfed or people don't fully understand how it works, but I can 100% assure you it is still extremely, extremely strong. Here I'm just playing like a dumbass sitting in the hallway, or the doorway. I shouldn't do that. And look at my health. The only reason I survived was double void resist and concussive dampener. So that's why you run that, because the boss shoots his void scorn crossbow, and then those stalkers or whatever, or raiders, whatever they are, throw their void grenades. So both can melt you really, really quickly if you get hit. So a lot of people ask how to like do this cheese spot, and basically you like get in here and then you're kind of floating and you just find your spot, and then try to not hit your movement keys, like your left analog or like WASD if you're on keyboard. Basically just sit there. So on my really good run, I had 2 spawns of the Abomination on the door that I'm aiming at now, where you have a sight line on it, which is really nice for Whisper. Whisper can actually kill in 1 stun if you're perfect. So I don't know what I hit there, but it didn't stun him. So there, when you get Whispered Breathing, if you're shooting and then I miss a crit, and then it just throws everything off, which is so unfortunate because on the run before, I actually killed in 5 shots. So yeah, if you proc Whispered Breathing and shoot immediately when you get Whispered, and then don't miss any of your crits, you can actually kill these unstops in 1 stun. Like there, I should have at least shot 1. I would have got 1 stun shot. But here you can see, watch my grenade regen. So yeah, like 2/3 back, really, really good. And then this is where Kinetic Tremors comes in really nicely. But again, when these unstops get hit, they kind of just lower their heads, and then you're not getting an angle on them. So that's why I screwed up so bad not killing that unstop when he spawned. But it is what it is. It is a good chance to showcase how strong Contraverse Hold are, because those grenades suck everything in. They have massive, because of Chaos Accelerant, they have like massive area damage. And like I said, they're sucking enemies in. And then if they get kills, you're proccing Devour. Look, my grenade is pretty much back. Because yeah, you're proccing Devour, you're proccing the Contraverse Hold regen, and it's just awesome. So then what I like to do, I like to throw the grenade first like this, and then get my stun. Wait for the unstop, because the grenade lasts so long. Conversely, if you do it the other way, if you stun, then half the damage you're losing out on, because you're going to be charging up your Contraverse Hold throw. So I didn't think I moved, but since that guy's shooting at me, that means I was spotted. So maybe I am moving, or I'm not sure. But that's why you don't want to move. If you see an enemy start shooting at you, that means you've been spotted. And usually it pretty much means you're dead. Because if the guys that throw the void grenades lob one in here, you're toast. You can survive it on a Warlock, though, with a healing rift. But even then, it's sketchy. Like I said, I've got double void resist and concussive dampener to survive stuff like that. But yeah, basically you don't want to move, and if you do see enemies shooting at you, that means they know you're in there. So the trick is to kill the ones that are shooting at you, because other ones might spawn in, but they haven't seen you yet. So this guy's not looking at me, so I'm going to throw a grenade, then get the stun. But again, the crappy part with this cheese spot is there's not real good sightlines sometimes, and then I'm just missing my shots like horribly. Man, like I was off on this run, and it's such a shame because the run before I was like showcasing how good Whisper can be. So there, I know I moved there, and you can see me survive one of the scorn grenades. The reason being, I was just getting upset because I couldn't get my freaking angles. So I moved a little bit, and yeah, you can see the enemies start to shoot at me. But part of the reason was I just didn't care at this point. I thought my gameplay up to this point was pretty much garbage, so I was like, whatever. If they see me, they see me. But instead, it's a good excuse to use it as a learning opportunity for people that if you do get spotted, you still can survive. You just have to kill the enemies that are attacking you, which is what I did. Like, I threw a grenade out at those guys that would have been lobbing grenades at me, get them dealt with, and then now I'm just not going to move again, because the only enemies that could like see you are when you move. So if they're dead and the other ones, and you don't move once the other ones spawn, then you're good. Like that guy, he can't see me because I haven't moved yet. I only moved when I was trying to get that abomination. So again, throw the grenade first, then get the stun. What I'd like to do is get kinetic tremor procs, but he's in such a spot, and again, I don't want to be moving, so I'm not able to. But instead, I'm taking out some other enemies and killing them, which procs the grenade regen on Devour. So I'm getting my grenade back really, really quickly. Here he's in a better spot. We proc kinetic tremors, and just like that, we're on to the next phase of the hack progress. So again, this was without any void surge, and you can see with the weakened grenades and just how frequently they're up, it's really, really good for this cheese spot. Like this build goes incredibly hard, well, in so much content, but especially this Nightfall. And you can hear I'm getting shot at, but he's either behind me or to my left, so I still have cover. I think he might land shots on me like here and there, but I'm not worried about him. What I don't want to do is turn around and shoot him, because then other things might, I might get aggro from other enemies, and then you're pretty much screwed. So as long as you're not taking damage from them, don't worry too much. So here you can see the little diamond on the left, the unstop's getting closer. So once he's close enough, we throw this grenade, and then you can see the grenade sucks enemies, but it doesn't really suck champions too much. And then we're getting some kinetic tremor procs. And yeah, over a third health, which is really, really good for what it is, you know. And then I just decided to use some whisper ammo because I know I left that crate up. If you have like at least 9 shots coming into here, I would just leave that crate for afterwards, because 9 shots, if you hit 3 crits on the abomination, you're going to get a shot back. And then, yeah, you're probably not getting more than 2 abominations where you can actually get a whisper rotation off. You're probably going to be doing what I'm doing, which is using the grenades and using kinetic tremors to whittle them down. So you don't really need a lot of whisper shots in here. And then I'm just getting some crits just to show like the ignitions and how that all works. So yeah, overall this build is really good if you use the cheese spot because of that big area damage that it does. It sucks in that yellow bar scorn every time as well. So yeah, you can take them out really, really quickly with this build. So now we're going to grab this, and boom, just like that, we're back up to full heavy. So yeah, for this next part, we're not going to wait out the timer. We're actually going to just shoot all the hive runes. And this build is excellent for this as well, because if you go left, the ads kind of group up in a spot where you can just kill them all with your grenade. So you're just going to come over here and take out the enemies, and then we're just going to use our super on the chieftain. So yeah, I've said for a long time Nova Bomb needs a buff. Like, it's just not that strong. But it is strong enough to take out these guys, which is really, really handy. Like this part, this is the easiest. I've beaten this GM a few times on different builds, and this was probably the easiest run I had, to be honest with you. And like I said, I was playing like shit. Like, I easily should have had like a 25-minute clear if I was playing better. But yeah, so what you do is you Nova, and then you go up to that spot where I stopped and throw your grenade, and then you're going to take out all those raiders. And then you're able to just run up here, because what happens is as soon as you start damaging the raiders, chieftains spawn, and you don't want to be fucking with the chieftains. So if you get that grenade on the raiders, that gives you enough time to get up here before the chieftains come out. And basically you just do what I did. Like, it's really as simple as it looked, because the void grenade just does all the work. And then I was going to throw it, but then I was like, wait, no, I better save it, because you actually want it for the start of the boss phase. And here I jumped down just a little bit too soon. I could see the doors opening, and I know they're supposed to despawn, but just wait that extra few seconds just to make sure that they do despawn. So here's why I wanted my grenade, because when you go to this, it gives you like full ability energy. So I'm going to throw a grenade where the enemies spawn. So I start interacting and then I throw it, and then watch. We get like a few kills here with that grenade because it lasts so long. Like we got like 5 stalker kills right there. And then I always jump up on the lower part because that way I can keep hitting W and it just kind of runs into the top part. And then, yeah, you just jump up. Very easy. And yeah. I was looking for an orb of power because I do have firepower on my gloves. And you can see that guy was even one shot. So he got away from the grenade, but he had still taken damage. So there's a bunch below me. So we're just going to use our awesome grenade to suck them all in, hopefully. And yeah, we get a few kills. We're doing some boss damage. I've got double solar surge, like I said. So I'm going to shoot my orbs so that I can get 17% more damage. Plus he's weakened. Unfortunately, he lost the weaken by the time I went to shoot. And then my scrub ass just misses my shots. So very unfortunate. But again, I'm trying to get a weaken with radiant, with armor charge. You can see 71,000 to the head. Like that's massive. And if I wasn't trash, I would have kept shooting him. And so there, again, I'm just showcasing how good Whisper can be this season for ad clear because of Flint Striker or Kindling Trigger or whatever it is, where when you're Radiant, your solar weapons can make an ignition. It's not so good on the Raider phases because they're orange bars, but on the red bar phases, the Stalkers I think it is, it's really, really good. Again, in the run before this where I wasn't cheesing the boss room, I showed it off like really nicely actually. They just bunched up properly. So here the boss is being weird. I probably should have just shot it with a primary or something just to not waste ammo because it's like what the hell is he doing? Here I'm just showing how good the grenade is on orange bars. I wouldn't recommend, watching your grenade kill everything. Like just go back to doing damage on the boss. But because I'm a YouTuber, I'm trying to like show off how good the build is. So I wanted to show, even without Void Surge, your Contraverse nades can take out an entire wave of orange bars, which is really, really good. Here, I waste my Nova Bomb. That was really stupid. I should have done a little more damage so that he transported here and then used my Nova. So learn from my mistakes. Again, if I had more time, I'd probably run this back because, yeah, this run just wasn't very smooth. But I guess for a 30-minute or however long it took me, 32-minute solo GM, not playing that great, that kind of speaks volumes of how good the actual build itself is. There, only one enemy spawned in, unfortunately, because I wanted to show the ignition. But again, don't even waste your Whisper ammo doing that stuff. I like to show kind of all the components to the build. So sometimes I'm doing things, it's not fully optimal. I'm trying to show off certain parts of the build, like get footage like, oh, you can use Whisper as ad clear. Oh, look how strong the grenades are. Again, when I throw that grenade, if I look away, then I don't have that footage. But most people aren't YouTubers, so they don't have to, play the game in that way. And then there, you could see, I don't think I actually missed those shots. There's an invisible wall on the left and right and middle. So there I missed shots. That was horrible. But I was actually hitting that invisible wall because I think later on it'll show it. But that's another reason you need to be careful with Indebted Kindness, because it's a projectile and it also can do like self-damage. So if you're shooting Indebted Kindness too close to that invisible wall on the edge, it's actually going to damage you. So that's why, like, right there, I'm looking like so far over the edge to shoot my Indebted Kindness. And then even here, like, I'm stepping way further than you would think you would normally step up to take on a boss, because you want to stay out of its sight line, but you also have to recognize. So right there, his bottom third of the crossbow is like phasing into that wall. That's why it's not hitting me. And then there, I don't know, I was just, if I was missing the orb or I was also hitting that invisible wall, I'm not sure. But yeah, if you are going to use this cheese spot, it's very important to know about that. So yeah, I'm just proccing Volt Shot on him. Then we get a weaken grenade. And again, I wish I could have had better footage just showing like Whisper absolutely chunking him over and over and over again. Because in my run before, I was down low and I was actually hitting my shots. The crappy thing was I ran out of ammo for this phase because I was like just going in on him. And then, yeah, I just kind of fell apart with the unstops when I had no Whisper ammo. So that's why I decided to just cheese this run, because again, I don't have a lot of time. So I just wanted to get the video out there with this really strong build, show off Contraverse, talk about how, yeah, people can say it's nerfed or whatever, but it's been that way for a long time. I think people just don't necessarily understand exactly how it works with that cooldown on it. But again, if you pair it with Devour, as you're getting kills, you're getting grenade energy back, and yeah, you can just go in. So here we're showing off really good gameplay with kinetic tremors, and as you get primary damage, that's giving you super energy, because I wanted to use a Nova Bomb on those guys and save my Whisper ammo for the boss. So that's why I was just whittling them down with kinetic tremors, and it was very good because we've got the Echo of Undermining on, and yeah, you could just see how much super energy I was getting there. So that worked out really nicely. So then when those Scorn pop in, there's 3 at the start. You want to take one out right away, because then that one won't respawn. But then when there's only 2 Scorn left, they just constantly respawn. So I'm going to get a grenade on those enemies and that last Scorn. And like I said, another one will spawn in here shortly. And here, what I screwed up there is I didn't have a grenade ready, and this will allow the enemies to disperse. What you want to do is spawn kill the enemies, which I do a good job of on all the other phases. But because I didn't do that, I'm just retreating to a safe spot, and we're just going to take them out. So that was my bad. What you want to do is not jump down. I shouldn't have wasted my grenade. I should have just killed the last couple enemies, and then kept my grenade for the next wave, and just killed that Arc Charge Scorn with my sidearm. Because Indebted Kindness, look how amazing it is. It chunks those chieftains. It takes out the 1 red bars in 1 shot and the beefier red bars in 2 shots. And yeah, anyways, here you're going to see how I spawn kill the enemies, and this is the way you want to do it. So I just come over here, and then I charge up my grenade. There is still 1 red bar there, whatever. And then yeah, if you land your grenade well enough, like I just go right in at them. Again, just to kind of show how good the grenade is. And there is still 1 guy up, but yeah, we can just take him out easily. Proc Volt Shot, and hopefully get it on the Scorn guy. I'm missing like crazy again. Like I said, my aim was just god awful in this run. Like genuinely, it's embarrassing, but not every run's gonna be perfect, and that's okay. So there, you could see the boss was charging up his Scorn crossbow, so just break line of sight. Just rush for the stairs, because you've got, like, he's got the high ground, but you can also break that line of sight with the floor. So that's all you do there. And then, yeah, I get a finisher and go invis, but you don't need the invis whatsoever. So there, I knew he was going to miss me, but even if he didn't, I was charging up a Contraverse hold nade. And when you're doing that, you have damage resistance. And with the double void resist, I'm able to survive 1 shot from the boss as long as I'm perfectly full health, which in that case I was. But yeah, I was floating, and then I just hit spacebar to drop a little bit as he was like getting ready to shoot. And anyways, it just changes your angle, and it allowed him to miss me. Armin GT has an amazing movement guide on his channel. I've watched it a few times. It will 100% make you a better player. I would definitely check that out. But yeah, so that boss, even though I was floating in the air to shoot my grenade, it didn't matter because I was just confident he wasn't going to hit me. So yeah, there we get the finish, but unfortunately the charge falls back here, but it's okay. So yeah, I'm just running along the floor, and then I use the pillar for cover. And then again, we're just going to whip a nade. I whipped that one a little too far. And I knew that guy was over there, but I wasn't worried about him because if he was going to start shooting at me, I knew he was one shot, so I could just take him out with indebted kindness. And then here, I'm only half health. This is really risky. Yeah, see right there, I'm taking damage from the chieftain. So again, when you're running to this cheese spot, if that boss would have shot me there, and I was running in such a way that I think I could have avoided it. And if you're really quickly, you can do it before he shoots at you. But what you want to do is just kind of clean up the ads before you run back there. Because that chieftain had me half health. So like I said, if that boss had shot me, my run's over there. But the reason I was playing aggressively there was because I'd missed so many shots on this run that I just didn't care anymore. I honestly was like, fuck it, we ball, because I'm just going for it. If I die, I die. I'll gladly run it back because the gameplay was pretty shit. And then, of course, that's when you get lucky. The run before this, I had super good gameplay, died to some bullshit. And then this run, I have terrible gameplay. And so there, right there, was the invisible wall. So yeah, this one, shittier gameplay. And what do you know? I don't die when I'm playing reckless and stupid. But yeah, what I did there, you probably don't want to do. You probably want to get that chieftain down first. And then here, also very dumb. Again, this is just me being rusty. I don't remember the way he moves. So basically, he's got damage gates. So he'll TP after taking certain amounts of damage, and he'll spawn enemies after certain amounts of damage. So what I should have done was done a cycle of Whisper, and then when he teleported to the right there, all those enemies are spawning in. That's when I want to throw a weaken grenade and throw my Nova Bomb. It's going to hit all the enemies and clean them up, and it's going to do a whole bunch of damage to the boss and just make things so much easier. Because now these little fuckers, they're all spread out, and they're a pain in the ass to deal with. So there, I did take some damage, but I had a healing rift, so I wasn't too concerned. And like I said, if you're full health, you will be able to survive one shot from them. But like I said, that invisible barrier works both ways. Like there, the bottom of his crossbow, it hit that invisible barrier. Like it was coming right for me, but I just kind of know where to stand so that I won't get hit. And then, yeah, again, these enemies are all spread out. I probably didn't need to waste a nade there. What you should be doing is, well, I mean, you can do ad clear, but what I should be doing is just focusing on the boss. But again, I'm trying to like do optimal stuff, like get my armor charge so that I can show you like the full damage. It hits 71,000 to the head when you have the Radiant, Echo of Undermining, and the Weapon Surge. So it's extremely, extremely strong. And like I said, that was the reason I wanted to do this run, was just to show off Whisper in an environment where it's actually very good. And it's very good because, like I said, we have this cheese spot. You can get like big damage cycles on this guy. Just unfortunately, I missed so many shots. Like even there, the run should be over. I just kept missing. Miss again. Like, oh, yeah. It's just, like I said, it's funny how that goes. You have a run that's so smooth and you die. And then you have a run that's trash, so you play reckless. And then it's like, oh yeah, that's the run that's going on YouTube, I guess. But it is what it is. Like I said, I'm a little too busy right now to be getting perfectly optimized runs. I just wanted to show Contraverse in its current state because people have been saying it's nerfed, but no, it's still very good. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed. Like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Take care.